Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at XRP. So we finished the live stream last night on XRP, and as we loaded it up we saw that it was moving counter to the rest of the market, right? We didn't need to delve any deeper into the reasons why. We kind of assumed it was to do with some kind of development or maybe just a viral tweet basically about the lawsuit, you know, the SEC case. And lo and behold, after the live stream, it exactly was. So, but when it comes to technicals, you know, we're looking for continuation. You can get pumps on charts, and we see them all the time. Someone does something, someone says something, there's a development with a blockchain, there's something happens, and then suddenly you get a pump up, right? But if the technicals generally don't match, it gets sold off, right? And so I think that that's obviously what we're looking for today, a sell-off. And the main thing is, you know, as far as the technicals on this chart are concerned, there's one main thing that we're looking at here on a larger picture, which is a descending triangle, which is a bearish formation, and while being inside of that, you know, we could break to the up. I mean, I say a bearish formation, it's basically a representation of the consolidation, right? We are consolidating with this downwards trend, right? And every time we come up to the top of it, we get rejected from it, And so you should always expect rejections from it, and this is why it's bearish, right? And obviously there's a support in play as well. That's what makes it a triangle. And you could buy the support, and the support is all the way down here at 54, almost 55 cents, to a top area, a top zone of about 65. So, you know, you could also do that if you wanted to. And again, you know, you could look at this just based on a horizontal and go, well, actually, you know, that's strong enough for me. I'll go in on it. I'll give it a shot. I'll go for it. And again, though, but that's fair enough. You know, if you're looking to accumulate, looking to buy XRP or whatever, then yeah, you buy it. The supports, especially a long-standing, you know, one that goes on for, this one's quite old. You know, this is going back into, you know, the end of 2020. So before the alt season, we had peaks up here, and we had supports down here. We've had supports there recently. So it is a strong zone. But while being in one of these formations, if you're looking to make a serious trade rather than buy and hold, you know, hodl or invest or whatever, which can often be a bit of a painful process with XRP. I mean, let's face it. I mean, it's worked out generally okay for me this time round. So the first time I bought XRP was way back, you know, before the previous bull run, like 3 cents, just above 3 cents. And obviously that was a decent, you know, it was a fluke, really. It was a fluke. And it did, you know, really well, you know, just short of 100x. This time round we were watching this giant consolidation take place, and we bought into the accumulation when we broke out of that. This is a similar kind of story as to what's going on right now. So it's one of the most obvious trades, and also, you know, this represents, you know, the way that Bitcoin is looking at the moment. So you got a giant consolidation, yeah, huge consolidation, and then when you break out of that, that usually goes into an accumulation period. And if we zoom in closer to this, you know, this might seem all very small and you know, a bit of a non-event when you zoom right out like that, but really we've got a range that is relatively large. And I mean, at the time, we think about the top of the accumulation range, it's a 40% range basically, or you could even argue that it was a 25% range, and you buy into this, right? And so if you, let's just say, oh, we broke out of here, we're out, let's just say we bought the middle zone, and you're down 18%. So it was a decent idea to buy into that. And again, accumulation when you're outside of a consolidation. So we're not out of that at the moment, which means that, you know, they're buying into a range like this is kind of risky. And again, yeah, we can look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's doing the same kind of vibe. Your giant consolidation, really steep, and now we're into what could be, you know, maybe an accumulation of a quite a large range, you know, from the bottom to the top. You know, we'll just measure this just from this wick here to the top here is a 32% range. So it's kind of standard stuff, and it does require faith, you know, in the chart. So yeah, we're in this formation, which, like I say, if you wanted to trade within it, feel free to do that, but the best thing is to wait till we're outside of it. So not only that is that we have this 200 exponential moving average on the daily. So XRP, more than most, has a very strong relationship with the 200 exponential. While below it is, you know, pretty bad, like as in, like, you know, expect rejection from it. While being above it, expect support from it. And it's a very, you know, people will always say, when we started mooning on this, every time we had these pumps, people would say to me, where have I, you know, where should I buy XRP? I said, well, you've missed it. The chances has left you, you know, there's no point now. You know, we come up, we come down to consolidate on the top of it. We move up, we come down. This is obviously when the SEC case began, came down below it. Moved up from it, mooned from it. Every single one of these huge pumps, I always say every single time to the people who send me DMs, when should I buy XRP as it's going all the way up? And I say, no, don't worry, it will revisit the 200 exponential sooner rather than later. That's just the nature of it. And that is the same when it comes to being in a downtrend. You know, we pump up to it, get rejected from it, pump up to it, rejected from it, pump up to it, rejected from it. So if you were looking for a decent position in XRP, you would wait carefully for us to reclaim, first of all, this, and also get outside of the descending trend line here. And neither of those are yet, you know, they've not yet happened. So you could argue that, yeah, the move yesterday was good. It was a, you know, I buy the rumor, sell the news kind of event. The technicals currently don't match, you know, the sentiment of XRP winning a lawsuit. But you know, the moment that we break out of here and get above this 200 exponential, preferably get a retest of it as well, so retest of that, retest of this moving average as well, then you could think about XRP positions. And I like to trade, you know, futures, coin futures for XRP, because when it moves aggressively, fast. It moves up really fast, really fast, really fast, really fast. You know, it does do big moves. So people like to slag XRP off, and yeah, arguably for the most part, it's been a pretty rubbish sort of chart, really. If you think about it from the bottom to the top, from my entry point, yeah, it was a 10x if you'd have got in at the bottom and out at the top, which no one ever does, and I certainly didn't. For the record, I've never sold any of the XRP that I've bought this time round. I've kept it all. I bought it from here, and I've never sold any of it. Never sold any of it. But I do futures trades with it because of the aggressive moves when it finally gets itself into a position. And at the moment, it's not in a position to do that, but it could be soon. It could be soon. But again, you know, if you're looking to get excited about XRP, that's fine. We all like to get excited about XRP, but when it comes to a giant big move like this, we do need the technicals to marry the fundamentals, or at least the developments of the court case, or whatever, you know, whatever the outcome is going to be. It's almost certainly going to be a positive outcome, let's face it. You know, the SEC couldn't even deal with kin, do you know what I mean? They're not going to be able to deal with XRP. The SEC literally don't know their ass from their elbow. They don't know what's going on. They can't deal with this. They're not going to be able to win against it. And whether it's an out of court settlement or basically just a failure from their behalf, XRP will win, and it will pump as a result of that. But is it going to pump, you know, up to these levels and below, or is it going to pump above and then make a continuation? We don't know yet. Let the fundamentals marry the technicals, and at the moment the technicals don't say buy XRP, unless of course you're looking to buy and hold. But while being in a bearish formation like this, be prepared to revisit the bottom side of the support and maybe even break down. Because again, you're more bearish than bullish in a formation like this, only ever so slightly. But remember, it's not that, you know, this is always going to break to the down. The reason it's bearish more than bullish is because the resistance goes down every single day, whereas the support stays the same. So it means that every pump at its best has a lower level of resistance, meaning diminishing returns while within the formation. Doesn't mean that it has to break down. It just means that we're still consolidating, and you would expect it to continue consolidating until we finally break out and go, okay, the consolidation has finally come to an end. We are maybe in a period of accumulation, or maybe it's moon time. But like I say, it's, you know, it's more likely to break down than it is to break out. But we all know that XRP does have something in the pipeline that could organise a breakout from this formation, and also the market, you know, is largely responsible for XRP's movements. And at the moment, the market is pretty much sideways. We are waiting for more fundamentals to kick in for every single market when it comes to the Fed and their rate hike, what it is that they're going to do. Is it 2.5? Is it 0.25? Or is it 0.5? What's it going to be? We don't know. We'll know that next week, and that'll give everybody, you know, from traditional markets and crypto, you know, a baseline of risk. And that's all we really want right now. Everybody's got cash in their pocket. You know, it's burning a hole in your pocket. We want to get rid of this cash. We want to stick it in some risky assets. We just want to know what the risk is going to be, and we will find out next week. So at the moment, the technicals on all charts don't look particularly good, I have to say. Sideways, maybe sideways and down, generally speaking. I'm not particularly excited about pretty much anything that I see. We did recognize on the live stream last night that many altcoins, the majority of them actually, had daily and 4 hourly, and in some cases 3 daily bullish divergence on the RSI and on the MACD. So there is a chance that on the next leg down we do get a really sizable bounce that could be, you know, felt across the board for all altcoins, and maybe some might call it an alt season. I'd probably just call it an alt rally, relief rally. That could go on for several days, maybe even several weeks. It is pretty unique to have all altcoins forming the same kind of, I suppose, bullish divergence. But in order for that to play out, you would kind of need it to tag a little lower at first. So I'm okay to suggest, you know, to some people, you know, shave off maybe 5% of your available funds and put it into some of these altcoins blindly, in the hope that you catch the absolute bottom on the next leg down. But generally, I would be looking for confirmation as what the Fed are going to do next week. How hard are you going to go on these rate hikes, just to give us a building block to start building our portfolios back up again. Right, I'll leave with you there. So long story short, leave XRP alone, wait for the breakout, and then we will get excited. I'll be looking for this previous high to get tagged and then beyond, but at the moment it's not ready for that. We're still below the 200 exponential, which is the simple rule of XRP. Don't go long on XRP while below the 200 exponential. Alright, thanks for watching guys, hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.